Okay, hi guys. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to calculate the area under the curve. So for this diagram, as you can see, this area under the curve is a bit unique because we have a quadratic curve here located right below a straight line. So in the past, we have learned how to calculate the area under the curve for a normal curve, but now they are adding for you something extra, which is the straight line. So this is a question that I have extracted from IGCSE past year syllabus. So I'll be doing with you, but this is the usual format as how the question will come up. Okay, so as we have learned in our IGCSE that to find the area under the curve, there's only one way to do it, which is by integration. But for some other shape, for a predefined shape, we have a fixed formula. But this is not a fixed formula, that is why it's called a curve. So any area located right under the curve, the only way for us to calculate is through integration. So take note on that. So now if you can see, the first part of this question asks you, find the coordinates of A and B. So our A is here and our B is in the end here, and we are supposed to find. Take note at here, our y is equals to 0 and our y equals to 0. This is a crucial piece of information that will help you to do. I'll do it the space here, so I hope you can see and it's quite clear. So let's start with A. A is quite easy. B is a bit hard. I'll explain to you why later. We find A first. So how do we find A? You can see it's located under the curve. And I already declare here must be y0 and it passes through the origin, which is 0. So I can directly declare let y equals to 0. Hence 0 equals to 4x minus x square. With that I can factorize this and get me x 4 minus x equals to 0. So I have two coordinates, x equals 0, x equals to 4. Okay, the x0 is justified because it's located at the origin. So this 4 must be here. So with that I can write here my a coordinate is 4 and 0. Now our question is how we actually find B. Okay, you see the B is located on a straight line, and this straight line doesn't have any connection with the curve directly, but indirectly they have a connection whereby they are touching one point there. At point 1 of this straight line, it has the same point with the curve. So meaning we can actually find the gradient of this curve at this point. We can use the gradient to form an equation of straight line, and then we can find B easily using y0. So allow me to help you with that. So I will find the gradient first. So dy dx of 4x minus x squared. So you differentiate 4x become 4, you differentiate x squared become minus 2x. So now I want to find my gradient at point 1. Okay, I'm going to circle here point 1 because y1 is here. So I want to find at this point here what is my gradient, because they have a direct connection between the straight line and the curve. So I'll replace inside 4 minus 2, 1. So that will give me 2. So the gradient at this point here, I'm going to write here m equals to 2. M and dy dx is the same thing. Okay, dy dx we use in the terms of what we call that curve, and we use for straight line. So with that I can form my equation of straight line using these two information. So I'm going to write here find B to know my steps clearly. So see 0.13 I'll write here. So this is 1 and 3. So I got my gradient 2. So I can use y minus 3 equals to mx minus 1. So y minus 3 equals to 2x minus 2. So y equals to 2x plus 1 because negative 3 go there. Okay, now we got this equation. So this equation belongs here, this line here. And you already know at this coordinate B of my y is 0. So I will write here when y equals to 0, I write here for B. Okay, so for B coordinate, so I put 0 equals to 2x plus 1. So my x coordinate is negative 1 over 2. So I already got my B point, which is very easy, negative 1 over 2 and 0. Okay, so we are good with this part here. Okay, so now for the next part, they are asking you to find the area of the shaded region. So I'm going to just break it a little bit to you to show you how we actually can find this area. Okay, so there are two parts I would do. Okay, some of you will tell a lot of ways, okay, but I will show you the easy way. I'll use pencil for this. Okay, so this part here I'll draw a straight line. Reason because why, some of you might find from 0 to 4. Okay, some of you might think, okay, why not I find from 0 to 4? So I'll illustrate here. They'll say, teacher, why not I find like this area, then only I go and find this area here. Okay, but then there's a problem, whatever you find below here, you're going to find a triangle. So it's going to overlap at some point of time. So I advise you do a two-parter whereby you take this area first. All the limit from 1 to 4 you calculate. And then you can see this little part here is forming a small right angle triangle. So you get a right angle triangle plus with the curve, and then your problem solved. So I'll illustrate down here in detail. So we have a triangle down here, okay. So the triangle is like this. So we know this coordinate here is -1/2. Here is 1. That means my length here is 1/2. And then my height, you see in the question they given you the peak of the triangle is 3. So my height is 3. So I can find, I'll draw here very small. I hope you can see, okay. So this is the area. I'm finding for area. So for the area, what I will do, I'll find 1/2 height times base. Okay. So computing this will give me, allow me to use my calculator a while. So I'll have 3/2 times 3. So I will have about 9/4 there. Okay. So my area of this little triangle here, okay. Where was it? Okay, yeah. This triangle here is 9/4 my area. So now I want to find for the curve. So I'm going to show you here. I'm finding up to here only, okay, from here to here. So this is 1, this is 4. So I'm going to integrate this thing to find the area, okay. So I integrate this, my limit is 4 to 1, and my equation of the curve was 4x minus x squared. So I integrate this, it will become 4x squared over 2 minus x cubed over 3, okay. Take note, I'll just explain here one time, okay. You have plus c actually, but because when you find area, you will minus, so eventually it cancel off. So you don't need to show that step. So 4 square over 2 minus 4 cube over 3, okay. This is the first limit. And then minus off with our second limit, 4, 1. Okay, you can simplify this if you